Good day. Welcome to the video engagement portion of our sports nutrition task 2 assessment. For this assessment, we are analyzing the nutritional and ergogenic recommendations for a warrior race participant competing in a 12 to 15 kilometer black ops division race with 30 obstacles covering multiple ergogenic aids and their relevance to the athlete's performance. Our athlete is Jamie Taylor. He's 28 years old, weighs 72 kilograms, stands at a height of 175 centimeters. His training schedule is 6 days a week, including running with long and interval running, basically, strength training and obstacle practices. His diet is mostly balanced, but lower in carbohydrates on training days. Eats 3 meals a day with minimal snacking. His supplements that he's currently using are protein shakes, which are for post training mostly. The event conditions are hot, humid environment, and expected temperatures are between 30 degrees Celsius. Okay, so the event is a Black Ops Warrior race covering 12 to 15 Ks, which lasts normally between 90 to 150 minutes in, as we say, hot and humid conditions around 30 degrees Celsius. So the event and its psychological demands, this race places combined endurance and high intensity demands on the body. The primary energy system that is needed is the aerobic energy system, supporting continuous running and recovery between obstacles. The anaerobic glycolytic system becomes critical during heavy carries, climbs, and obstacle clusters, while the ATP system supports explosive movements such as jumps, pulls, and wall climbs. Key physiological stresses include high muscle glycogen depletion, significant muscle and grip fatigue, severe thermoregulatory strain, high electrolyte loss through sweat, central and peripheral fatigue as well. The key nutritional limitations, which is the carbohydrates basically, Jamie's low carbohydrate intake is the primary performance limitation. Carbohydrates are the main fuel source for both aerobic endurance and high intensity obstacle efforts. Low glycogen would lead to reduced power output, grip failure, poor focus, and poor decision making, early fatigue. And for this, we would recommend training days, which will be 5 to 7 grams per day, which is more or less your 300, 5 to 7 kgs, which I don't know is too much or if it's too little, but he would need at least about 360 to 500 grams per day. For his race week, which is carbo loading, he would need 500 to 720 grams per day, focusing on rice, pasta, oats, potatoes, fruit, honey, and sports drinks. The performance benefits of this would be sustained running pace, stronger obstacle execution, delayed fatigue later in the race. So it would definitely give him much more energy and help his endurance. Protein and fat intake. Protein intake should be between, say, about 115 to 145 grams per day, spread evenly across all his meals. Protein combined with carbohydrates post training enhances recovery, reduces soreness, and preserves lean muscle mass. Fats should provide 20 to 30% of daily intake, supporting hormone function, but high fat meals should be avoided close to race time basically. So you should manage when and how he takes in his fats. Hydration and electrolytes. This is critical, especially in the heat that is going to be sustaining in the 30 degrees heat. In 30 degrees heat, dehydration and sodium loss are major performance limiters. A fluid loss of just 2% body mass significantly reduces endurance and cognitive function. A strategy for this would be pre-race. So 3 to 4 hours before the race, you would need to take in at least 360 to 500 milliliters of fluids, whether it be an energy drink or water, preferably, because water is the best form of hydration. 500 to 700 milligrams of sodium, so that would definitely help. During the race, you would need 400 to 800 milliliters of fluid per hour, and then 300 to 600 milligrams of sodium per hour, 30 to 60 grams of carbohydrates per hour. Post race, you would need to replace 150% of all fluids lost, which include 1000 to 1500 milligrams of sodium. Performance benefits of this is to maintain power and grip strength. It reduces cramping risk, improves thermoregulation and focus, and then we move on to his ergogenic aids, which would definitely be almost saying your supplements. So one of them would be caffeine. The mechanism for this would be CNS stimulation, which reduced perceived exertion. The dose would be 3 to 6 milligrams per kg, which is about 215 to 430 milligrams. This is 45 to 60 minutes pre-race. The benefit would be improved endurance, focus, and late race performance. So basically, it would hold his endurance so that he can even perform later in the race at a better performance rating, basically. This must be tested in training, especially in the heat. So basically, when it's hot, you should test it at its optimum time, premium time. Creatine monohydrate. This mechanism increases phosphocreatine, which is faster ATP resynthesis. Excuse me. Apologies for the mispronunciation. The dose would be 3 to 5 grams per day. The benefit would be to improve explosive power, grip strength, and repeated obstacle performance. Possible 1 to 2 kg weight increase. It should be monitored for comfort in heat as well. So don't overdo it, and just make sure that Jamie watches how much he takes of it and watches his weight within this. Beta alanine. The mechanism is buffers muscle acidity. The dose would be 4 to 6 grams per day for 4 to 8 weeks. The benefit is that it delays fatigue during repeated high intensity efforts. Tingling is harmless within this. If he feels a bit of tingling, it shouldn't be much of an hindrance. Then you would need electrolytes, essential for heat, long duration, and neuromuscular function. Sodium is the priority electrolyte within this equation. Integrated race day strategies. Basically, this is our next phase. This would be 3 to 4 hours pre-race, high carb meal, 1 to 2 grams per kg. Moderate protein, low fat, fluids, and sodium 60 minutes before the race. Caffeine, small caffeine added, small carb top up during the race, 30 to 60 grams of carbs per hour, 400 to 800 milliliters of fluid per hour, 300 to 600 milligrams of sodium per hour. Post race, protein plus carbohydrates, aggressive rehydration with electrolytes. So for this, we have a couple of takeaways, or basically factors that we can factor into this. Primary limitation is insufficient carbohydrate intake, which we've discussed what he needs to take, how much he needs to take of it, and when. Dominant energy system is the aerobic, with anaerobic systems determining obstacle success. Most effective supplements would be caffeine intake, creatine, beta-alanine, and electrolytes. Heat management is as important as fueling and rehydration as well. All supplements must be tested in training, never introduced on race day. So no new untested supplements on race day. It must be tested pre-race in training, well before races, excuse me. In conclusion, what we've summed up, for the optimal warrior race performance, it depends on aligning energy systems with targeted nutrition, hydration, and evidence-based supplementation as well, transforming the physical preparation into successful race day execution. So in this video, I'm going to instruct that on particular pages of our document, this video is added to the document. So in particular, I will state which page number to look at, so that you can see the different systems, how they work, and what needs to be done at certain times when training. So when you are looking at the document, you will see that on the diagrams would start on page 29. This would give us our ATP and PC phosphagen system. It will also cover resting muscle, the phosphagen system, as I've mentioned. It then will also cover the anaerobic glycolytic system, high intensity short duration energy, lactic acid system. This would be on page 31 itself. As I say, we start on page 29 with the ATP. Then we move over to page 31, which will give you your anaerobic glycolytic system. On page 32, it covers the ATP production pathways. Then on page 33, we have our aerobic oxidative system. This covers how it works in full detail as well. Page 34 is a continuation of this. Then on page 36, we have the core nutritional strategy, which is basically showing a diet for these training days: easy training, moderate training, and hard training. Page 37 has carbo loading, which is just a basic picture of the best carbo loading foods that will help with carbs. When you move over to page 39, it will show you hydration and electrolyte strategies. Page 40, it just shows you which athletes sweat the most. That diagram shows us that. Page 41 will give you the role of electrolytes within the body and how they play a part. Then we have on page 42, we have supplementation strategies. It gives you a picture of optimum nutrition. And then on page 43, we've got supplements and ergogenic aids. There's a diagram there, and it also gives you a NUUN product which you can use for hydration. It comes in the form of tabs. And then lastly, that is our final picture on our video status. Thank you so much for your time. Do have a blessed day. God bless. That is our video portion for task 2, sports nutrition, for the Black Ops training preparation and recommendations. Thank you.